Jump in the back of the pickup truck and join us for a ride back to the good old days.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
A nostalgic podcast based on entertainment and memories from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Come with us and revisit the best time ever. So jump on your BMX bike, pop a heavy metal tape into your Walkman, and hang on tight while you go back to the past with us.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Pastimes at 80s High. Got another musical one for you today. We are going to do our top 7 favorite guitarists. Personal favorites, not to be confused with best or anything else like that. Of course, the boys are here as always. Kevin.
Hello.
Hello, Isol. Brother Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. And Dongo.
Eat. What's happening?
Hello, Isol as well. And AJ. And what we, I just gave you the lowdown on what we're going to be doing for the show. But as always, we like to give a few shout outs. A couple guys I went to school with. I'd like to give a couple thank yous there to my buddy Chris and buddy Kevin. Both very, very loyal listeners. Chris is constantly texting me, laughing at shit, especially you, Mark. But but yeah.
So Kevin, yeah, I remember being on our hockey team, the Maroons, back in =85. Yeah, that was
he was on
the Maroons or the
he was on the
Morons?
team. It was we won like 2 games, but we had a lot of fun. I mean, helmets were not required back then. I didn't wear a helmet, but of course,
and you
Kevin
took
had
one in
cage.
the head.
I certainly did.
Were you smoking?
What was I smoking?
Well, those are the best old footage of hockey players.
Oh,
no
yeah.
helmets, smoking butts on the bench.
No, but
Anyway,
yeah,
thank you, boys.
I should mention that. Too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Dongo, you said someone else was listening?
Yes, my firstborn, my son
yes.
Kieran, would like to give a shout out to him for listening.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kieran.
He better be. My kids do not listen, and it angers me greatly.
You kidding me?
Awesome. All right, Kev. How about anyone else around the world?
Teaneck, New Jersey.
Teaneck.
We are in Teaneck, New Jersey. Corlett, New South Wales, on the other side of the globe there. Ancaster, Ontario, and Smyrna, Georgia. Welcome, folks.
Yes, thank you much. Yes. Thank you. Rubberneck. That's all I can think of. Awesome. So, I mean, I guess we'll kind of do, unless anyone else has anything they want to say, we can just kick it off, get right to the topic, which is our way, kind of. So, Kevin,
as Al Bundy would say, let's rock.
Yes.
Okay, Al Bundy.
And that's all you, Kev.
All right. So, like everything else that we do, we kind of think about, what our individual approach is to the subject and how we're going to break it down so that, because there's a billion guitarists out there that could be mentioned or talked about, and I probably like 99% of them. So I was thinking in terms of people that I loved, but also had some kind of place in the history of the guitar world to a degree. I did not go with the straight Tiger beat. I'm sorry, Rolling Stone. I get those two confused all the time now.
Freudian slip.
Top 250 or whatever it is. I don't go with that. So, spoiler alert: Jimi Hendrix is not my number one. Imagine that. But I'm going to start off with a fella that I absolutely love to listen to, but he wasn't there was blues being recorded long before Robert Johnson, but he was kind of the touchstone. Those 2 days in Texas that he recorded the 29 songs, not the 30th one that Daniel was looking for in Crossroads.
Yeah.
But it's such a great story, and he's kind of a touchstone for the blues, and the musicians that we grew up with talk about finding him and being blown away. Clapton talked about a few of his songs that he would never even attempt. One of the great stories of Keith Richards is he had this apartment, and there was like a milk crate with a turntable on it was all that was in the apartment. And somebody brought over a Robert Johnson album, and he was listening to it, and he went, "Who's that playing?" He says, "Robert Johnson." He goes, "No, who's that playing with him?" "No, it's Robert Johnson."
Just him.
I left this morning. Our blues walking like a man.
And such a storied, like there's so many myths about him, and they all kind of intertwine, and there's some, there's just different variations of the stories, but he was inclined to appreciate music very young, but laughable as a guitar player for the better part of his life. So the greats, the guys that he would go into the barrel houses and he'd try to play along, they'd laugh at him and kick him out. And then so he disappeared for about a year. Apparently hung out with this guy, Ike Zimmerman, used to play in the cemetery at night or whatever. And then he came back, and all of a sudden he was amazing, blew everybody away. So that's where the story of Crossroads, obviously the song Crossroads, but that's where that came from. He's supposedly, he was the guy that went to the crossroads and sold his soul to the devil. The question is, was it literal or figurative? Did he just work that hard and they call it selling your soul, or did he literally sign a contract with the devil? And that's always been debated. And, you see that right up through all of the stuff that we grew up with, that kind of, maybe he didn't really make a deal with the devil, but he certainly
probably not
brought Satan into rock and roll as a theme. But just an amazing player to listen to. The different styles, the things that he did, the way that he kind of played the bass line while he was picking at the same time, and just an amazing tragic figure. He was he was a bit of a ladies' man. He went into this barrel house and he was flirting with this waitress, and the waitress's husband was the bartender, and I think it was Sonny Boy Williamson maybe saw the bartender poison a bottle of whiskey and give it to Johnson. And so Sonny Boy knocked the bottle out of Johnson's hand. And Johnson looked at him and said, "You have to knock a bottle of whiskey out of my hand again, son. We're going to have a fucking problem." So the same thing happened again. Johnson drank it, and 3 days later he was dead.
Juice.
So,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, Valerie showed me something on him last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and it the devil came to get his soul, as legend says.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Legba.
That was dumb of him to
everybody
sleep with the
knows
bartender's wife.
Yeah, don't fuck with the bartender's wife, man.
No, Jesus.
Yeah, just I mean, an amazing player, but also a lot of myth tied up in that guy as well.
How old is
Yeah.
he again
So
when
fun.
he was basically murdered?
I don't think he was in his 30s. He was 27. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he was 27. He
Exactly,
was the beginning of the 27
27.
club.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the other. I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of times he's not counted in that, but
So there's a show that was on NBC. It was a time travel show. I don't know if you ever saw the show Timeless. It was on NBC, and they had a time machine. They could go back in time, and the plot of the show was there was a kind of a bad entity, a guy that was going back and trying to change history by murdering people in the past and all that kind of stuff to change history in the future. And there was a Robert Johnson episode, and it was really cool.
really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
how old is this?
It was in like 2018. It's fairly recent.
Is
You
it
could
kind
stream
of
it.
like
It's
a new
great show.
version of Quantum Leap?
It's kind of like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
right.
it was cool. It had Abigail Spencer, had the guy from ER, Goran Visnik, who was kind of like a
Val
Russian
about it. It
accent
sounds like
kind
it's
of
right up our
guy. Yeah.
our alley.
It's a cool show to check out. Had Malcolm Barrett in it, but the Robert Johnson episode was cool.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, just a little side nugget.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Awesome pick too, Kev.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, oh boy. Well, I'll wait till I get to me. So do you, brother Mark.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going with Saul Hudson of Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver, also known as Slash, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, this guy can make a guitar sing. I swear to God, it sounds like it's a second batch of vocals when he plays guitar. I mean, to me, him and the bass player,
Duff McKagan.
Yes.
Keegan, yes.
Duff McKagan. Okay. Anyway, those two make the friggin' band, in my opinion. But just the way he plays, I mean, it's like singing. And Kevin, I know you famously hate this song, but if you ever hear the solo on November Rain, it's really singing the guitar.
I mean,
he's a talented guy.
incredible. There's no question about it.
And he just he seems to have his own style, really. But I mean, his influences are some of my influences as a guitar player. You know, it's too bad that they couldn't got their shit together and they went their separate ways and everything. And
Axl.
of course,
Axl.
Axl Rose. What friggin' I don't know. That guy's ain't right in the head. I don't think he is to this day either.
You know,
But,
something Eddie Trunk always talks about, Mark. They're so massive. I mean, don't get me wrong. Appetite is one of the greatest, if not the greatest debut album
It's
of
an
all time.
incredible album.
But just the fact that the catalog that people even, you know, they don't even count some of it. It's basically Appetite and the Illusion albums, and bam, like for them
they had
to
the
be
EP.
this big and selling out stadiums friggin' 40 years later, you know, off of a basically three album catalog it's just weird. They're the only band to really do that. Most, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. It should have just been Use Your Illusion and thrown out all the filler.
Yeah.
It was like every other song was a friggin' classic, incredible hit. And every other song was just like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Right.
But yeah.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, that's my number 7 pick.
Slash. Great pick.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, before I go to me, I was just going to say, you were talking about Slash and Duff. I think Adler was the sound with them. Like,
Oh, I have a story
nobody
behind
could
that one,
play,
too.
and so many people say
Yeah,
nobody
you're
can
right.
play Guns N' Roses like Steven Adler could, you know, and
Yeah.
just, I mean, a lot of those bands, you know, it took every one of them to create that sound together, just like Kiss.
I'll make it quick, but you brought up Steven Adler. You know the story on Rocket Queen. Axl was banging this. I forgot her name, but her sex.
I'll never
moans are in
forget.
the
Oh, what's
song.
her name?
Yeah, I
It was
know.
Adler's girlfriend.
It was Adler's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And watching the video,
What a
I mean, he's up there drumming with a smile on his. You know, like I don't know. I think that would. I know. I guess that's rock and roll for you. Whatever, share, right?
The only story that I ever heard that was like more kind of like hurtful than that was the one about I think he was an A&R guy, something pudgy little dude, and he had this girlfriend, and he introduced her to Nikki Sixx, and right in the middle of the fucking ballroom or wherever they were, he just fucked the guy's girlfriend right in front of him and everybody else.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Vince
that's
Neil
like,
did it too, didn't he? To the friggin' guy that was
To
trying
razzle?
to sign him. Not to razzle, but to
Yeah,
somebody
literally or figuratively.
that
I
was
guess.
working for the record company. He was like nailing his girlfriend in the dressing room.
Yeah. Well, this was allegedly the way I heard the story. I mean, it was right in front of God and everybody. It was like, hey, here's my girlfriend. And he just like, whoop, and banged her right there.
Well, she might be a bit of a slut.
Probably not gonna be your first wife, but yeah.
You gotta be pretty dumb.
But still, it's like, she could have broke up with him and then done it.
Right. We're done.
By the way,
Yeah. Awesome.
rock and roll.
Great pick with Slash, brother. All right. So to me, and what I was going to say is the fact that, boy, Kev, your deepness is going to really make up for my shortness today. So keep it up, because
Just like a band, we all fill in
Right.
and hit the high notes. That's
we just all have we're all part of the puzzle.
Yes. And as we said, these are favorites, and they're our favorites today, if you will. Well, my number 7 is Mick Mars.
Awesome.
Just to give that sound that he gave, it's only there's 3 of them really. Vince Neil was not playing an instrument. And the sound that came out of his guitar, just dirty. I mean, grungy, and not grungy, like grunge, just like, kind of just filthy, kick fucking ass, especially on the first few albums. That's it, just for him he was just very, I don't know, dark sound. He had a dark
He was
sound.
the sound of Motley Crue.
Yeah,
That's
great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, once again, there's 3 of them. Nikki Sixx, I guess he finally learned to play bass at some point a little bit, but
When was that, last week?
yeah, exactly.
No,
But
Tommy Lee's a great drummer, but
yeah, but I don't know. I don't respect that band like I used to,
No.
but you can't deny those first couple albums and then some more on, like just a few of the later ones as well. But he was a kick-ass guitarist. I love John 5, and he does try to be true to Mick, but I just don't like the whole shitty way that went about. And I've always hated, I mean, if a band's supposed to be like a family, I don't get how people can shit on each other. Actually,
publicly.
Speaking of which, I'll be releasing an episode of Preachers of the Night soon if anyone would like to listen, any Kiss fans out there, where it will be another bit of a bitch fest. Anyway, that's what I got. Mr. Mick Mars.
So I think Mick, I just saw the article. I hadn't had a chance to read it, but I think Mick is releasing some kind of tell-all, and the headline was that he was accusing the other boys in the band of maybe switching teams a few times during the during those wild years. So not that I give a rat's ass, but that might kind of create a little bit of a stir, sell a few books for him. So and then turn the knife on those guys after they fucked him
Fucking
over.
stabbed him in the back.
None.
No pun intended with his bad back, but
Yeah, right.
That's exactly where I was going with that. He went through hell with that back. What's the condition? Spinal.
I think he had ankylosing spondylitis.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's exactly what I was going to say.
No bunker on that one.
I
So there
was
was a
going to
problem
say
with his ankles?
spina bifida, but yeah, it was tough seeing them, walk him on the stage a few times during that stadium tour, man. All right, Dongo, what you got?
Cool. So I went a couple routes. So I'll have a kind of a mixture of deep cuts, but also a mixture of like that everybody likes, kind of like you. So I'm in between. And I kind of went with, like Kevin, like guitar players that were kind of influential, but I also kind of went with ones that along my journey, I kind of was like, people would say something and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll give that a listen. And then when I did, I was like, oh, that's cool. So it was like guitar players that I normally wouldn't listen to, but I was turned on to. And then I was actually pleasantly surprised when I did that. So that's some of them, but some of them are just the Mount Rushmore types. So my first one is one that when I went to Berkeley for a year, had no business being there, and met all kinds of awesome musicians. And a lot of them would always say like, oh, you know who's really good? You never know it, but you know who's really good? And it was Roy Clark.
Yeah.
And he played on Hee Haw.
Yeah.
The guy was a picker. I mean, he plays wicked fast and clean. Like he'd never used a stitch of distortion. And he can do like, rapid scales with clean, it was amazing. Like bluegrass, fiddle, classical, jazz, like he was everything, but did a lot of country music as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But the song I love is there's a clip of him on the internet of him playing with the Odd Couple.
Listen, now for me. Play some Bach on the guitar.
No more Bach. Will you play my favorite Mountain Dew?
No. Play a nice classical thing, please.
I don't want to hear anything class. I want a Mountain Dew.
Wait. Could I do something for myself?
Are you happy? He finally played Bach for you.
Playing the guitar in front of the Odd
nice.
Couple, and it's awesome. It's just really
What,
cool.
on the TV show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a Spanish song, wasn't it?
Yeah, he plays like an acoustic,
Yes.
like a Latin song. It's amazing.
I can't think of the name of the song, but
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
I can see him
Amazing guy.
picking.
Yeah, bluegrass is
Dad used
great.
to love that show.
That was his thing. The bluegrass was probably his number one, but he would do classical and Latin and so
I couldn't
jazz.
give you
They
a
call them
scene-
bluegrass runs.
Yeah.
Sorry, AJ.
It's okay. I couldn't repeat an episode from the show, but I can remember it so well. Just
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a
seeing
great
different
entertainer too.
scenes
You know,
from
he
it,
could sing.
and
Yeah.
my father always watching it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of hot girls on that show too, so maybe that had something to do with it.
But I had
Right,
a lot of people throughout my time say like, "Oh, you know who's awesome?" And then Roy Clark. That guy can pick.
Awesome.
Hee haw.
Yeah.
Malaguena, I think is the name of the song.
Oh, nice.
Maybe we can find a clip of that and get that in there
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's impressive. And I want to shout out like 3 other names of people that were like in the same realm as him, but I'm probably not going to walk on anybody's picks, but I don't want to take the chance. But there's some guys out there that you just like Roy Clark that you just don't think of that are just masters of the fretboard.
Yes. You would not be walking on any of mine, that's for sure. But awesome.
You don't remember Ace Frehley's bluegrass album?
No, I don't. Great pick, Dongo. All right, Kev, to you.
All right, my next pick, Lester William Paulfuss, also known as the Wizard of Waukesha, Red Hot Red, Rhubarb Red, or Les Paul.
Nice. There you go.
Because
Les
not
Paul.
only was he like Roy, I mean, that guy could pick. He was amazing. He was also an incredible innovator because we would not have the solid body guitar without him. And he was playing a hollow body, and he played with microphones, made his own microphones and speakers and all that stuff. And he was playing in a club, and a guy was like, "I can't hear your guitar." So that just shot him off. And he was like, first thing he got was a piece of railroad track. But his mother was like, nobody's going to walk around slinging a railroad track and playing guitar. So he went and got a fence post, and he made the log, and everybody was freaked out by that. So he took the cutaways, the wings from a hollow body, and glued them onto the side of it, and made that first solid body. And then eventually, Gibson was like, okay, we're going to start doing that. And then come on. Les Paul Gibson is like the gold standard through the 70s and 80s of, from Slash to the other 40 people on this list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more,
But some of the things that he came up with that, overdub. He did that with Mary Ford, tape delay, phasing, multi-track, all of those things he was doing back in the 40s and 50s, long before the Beatles went into the studio and started mixing stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
And then you look at his later years and his relation with Van Halen and some other people. Just, I mean, absolute innovator. And if you go back and listen to the stuff that he played, it's just amazing. Whether you like that style of music or not, you can't watch him play and not be like, holy crap, that guy is insane. I mean, his hands move. And he was in a car accident. He had several incarnations of his career before he met Mary Ford and really took off as a solo artist. And just as that happened, they were in a car crash. They were going to amputate his right arm.
Oh my
and he
God.
Talked to the doctor. He was like, "Can you just aim my hand at my belly button?" He said, "Just
absolutely.
put his arm like this." And he played like that through like his, and they had like 27 hits or something like that. And he just had his busted up arm propped in the right place where he could pick. And I mean, just unreal. The guy was unbelievable in so many ways.
Incredible.
But in around 1989, 1990, there was an HBO Les Paul special. And if you could dig it up on the internet, it's amazing.
Awesome.
And there's a scene in there that Eddie Van Halen's talking to Les Paul, and he's thanking him for all he's like, we couldn't do the stuff we do now without the stuff you invented back then. It's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Was that the same one where Jeff Beck walked out on stage with a Strat? And Les walked over and pulled the plug out of it.
Yeah.
There you come out here with a fucking Stratocaster. I'm Les Paul, damn it. He just ripped the plug out.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too funny. I'm sure we'll be able to find that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. It sounds
What a great pick, though. I mean, it's funny because you say that, and you know what a great guitarist, and so many people shockingly forget he even played just because of the make. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The guitar actually surpassed his fame as a guitarist.
Absolutely. Incredible. All right, Mark.
All right. I'm going with Aerosmith's Joe Perry.
Nice.
Who was a huge influence on my prior pick, Slash. When I think of Aerosmith, as you guys know, it's 70s and early 80s. And his guitar style is very blues, groovy, just funk. Just incredible. It comes from so many different places, and it's just filthy and just, you know, he never plays it. He plays it similar every time, but it's almost beautifully sloppy.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Incredible.
And his solos back in the 70s were just a thing of beauty.
A thing of beauty,
really,
Bill.
Yes. And it's funny because I was looking at, top 10 guitarists from Joe Perry, and like two of them were songs from my Aerosmith era.
And then they went to the 80s shit.
Oh God, no. They mostly from ballads and stuff.
Go listen to, how did it just leave me? God, it's like one of Aerosmith bootleg. Just incredible. Talk about filthy. Like, it's just.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can do those walks like he did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just the baseline kind of things that he did, that whether to walk this way or whatever else. I mean, he grooved.
Yes, indeed.
So I just wanted to say that I think a great concert to watch would be from Houston, Texas, back in, I think it's like 1977. This is really them at their top of their game, but I really would check that out. Nice. The Back in the Saddle was incredible on that one.
Awesome.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Did they stop after their residency? Because there was the whole thing about Kramer not being able to do it anymore. They kind of pushed him out of the band, but they had a Vegas residency. But I thought they kind of retired after that.
Well, they actually had a whole tour planned, and Tyler's voice. He had some vocal cord issue that, and you know, a lot of talk was like, are they going to come back and tour again after they saw him sing at the Aussie thing, you know, the Aussie Sabbath thing. And because he did great, but that was, you know, a song or two, and I don't think he'd be able to pull off a full show right now. So they're not making any decisions, but that's why their latest tour was called off.
But you know what? At least he's not up there lip syncing like somebody else we know.
Yes, of course. Which that's what you do. You can't cut it anymore. You retire. Right?
Exactly.
Damn it.
Damn right.
All right. Dongo, I apologize. It is to me, and I'm going with Mr. Jake E. Lee. I'm not going to go into too much depth about it, but I just loved his kind of crunchiness and his attitude. My first Kiss connection here, too, is that him playing with Eric Singer in Badlands.
I love that. I love Badlands. They were awesome.
And I think he started out playing with like Mickey Rat, but then those Aussie albums are where I really clicked with his sound. And Between Bark and Ultimate Sin is still one of my favorite albums. I mean, I would definitely like them to, you know, do a remix, because that was the Ron Nevison age where everyone wanted that sound for radio. You know what I mean? And so his guitar kind of got a little pulled out, if you will, or not quite as in the front of things, but fucking incredible guitarist. And it's too bad that he didn't want to play for a while, you know, and now can't really play that well because of a lot of problems with his hands. But it was great to see him at the Sabbath thing as well. And that he was invited to that. And after all the, you know, how bad we know he got porked with royalties and songwriting. And at least they had the decency to invite him to that. And he got out there and played. And another guitarist who I will not mention because he could come up and should. But at the Aussie event, I keep saying Aussie, but it was a damn Sabbath event to begin with. And
it was supposed to be,
just when I think it was Shot in the Dark, you know, they wanted this other guitarist to kind of take the front and center, and he stopped and wouldn't do it and gave it to Jake. So that was really nice. Cool, but great sound. Cool dude, had the look.
He did have the look.
I mean, there's so many tie-ins here that I can't say because of other guitarists, but you know, he got the role over someone that was already hired with Ozzy because he had the look they were looking for. So anyway, that is all I shall say, and go to you, Don.
Cool. Right before the cast, I was down at New Hampshire Vintage Vinyl, and I saw a Charvel, a nice Charvel, and it was actually pretty cheap. And I thought of Jake E. Lee because that's what he liked to play. And it was a cool guitar. So I'm going to maybe go back down there. All right. So for my number 6?
Yes.
Is going to be, this is a guy that I was turned on to at Berkeley for jazz fusion, the jazz fusion, not the jazz flute.
Not to be confused
but
with.
no, it's this guy's a studio musician. Many of you might know his sound from the theme song to Hill Street Blues. And it's Larry Carlton.
Nice.
Larry Carlton.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's played with Steely Dan and Joni Mitchell. But he's done a lot of solo stuff. And the album I bought at the time was Larry Carlton Collection, which is probably a compilation of a lot of his work, and I would just play it over and over again. There's a lot of just instrumental guitar work, and it's just, you'd have to listen to him. He's just clean, and he's got a beautiful sound, and the guy can spin the guitar like no problem. I loved it. Yeah, so Larry Carlton.
Nice.
But yeah, he did the theme song to Hill Street Blues.
What a great show, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was like one of the first nitty-gritty television shows, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, Kevin.
All right.
Number 5.
Next up, Chuck Berry.
Number 5, yeah.
Of course.
Chuck Berry was, again, talk about touchstone. If you talk to any of the bands in the 60s, they all picked up a guitar because of Chuck Berry.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans. Way back
He was playing in a house band that did all kinds of different styles, and country got really big at that time. So he actually incorporated country licks into his own style, and that's kind of where like Johnny B. Good and Maybelline came from. He had some personal problems. He was a little hard to work with. He didn't tour with a band. He'd pick up a band wherever he played and was not very nice to them. There's a great documentary from, I think, the early 80s where he had just got out of prison and Keith Richards was trying to help him out. And Keith said that, he was worse than working with Mick.
Wow.
Chuck was like, he was tough. He didn't take any shit from anybody. But he also had a little bit of darkness to him. I think later in life, there was probably at a restaurant, and I guess they found cameras or something in the ladies' room. He definitely liked the ladies. One of my all-time favorites is a live version of Reelin' and Rockin'. And there's a line that because he ad-libs some lines, and he says, we boogied in the kitchen, we boogied in the hall. I got some on my finger, so I wiped it on the wall, and we reeled, reeling and rocking. I mean, he had the dirty mind of the rock and roller, and it certainly came through. But just an innovator, and like I said, just the starting point. And for you, Donnie, Johnny B. Good was actually sampled on the Voyager 1. Remember the album that they sent out on that? So they had Johnny B. Good on that. So he's out in outer space.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So that's got to count for something.
To tie it into the time travel shit too, it was Marty McFly.
Yes,
yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who gave the idea to Chuck Berry? No,
that's instantly where my head went. Too.
It's your cousin. You got to hear this guy.
Oh, too funny. Awesome.
Nice.
All right, Mark.
All right. Well, let's just keep it rolling. I have Chuck Berry as well. You talked about all of his downsides, and one of them was he always demanded to be paid before he played. Which
that's smart.
I can understand that. I can actually, but I doesn't sound like the nicest guy to the house band, if you will, and everything. But his songs, they told stories. Mm-hmm. They told stories. They were friggin' fun. But the reason I'm picking him is I absolutely love his guitar style. That is a huge influence on my playing. Nice. I love all the blues double stops. The double stops are they're so fun to play, and he is the master of them.
Oh, yeah. I think he's the master influencer. Right?
Yes, and he actually wrote Johnny B. Good. I mean, 18,000 bands did that song, as you know.
A lot of people say that that's the tipping point for rock and roll kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the crux or the impetus of it. Yeah.
The crux of the biscuit, as Kevin would say.
That's a Frank Zappa. Yes.
That being said, just an incredible innovator on that friggin' six string. And my God, I implement that in my guitar playing constantly.
Awesome. Do you do the duck walk?
Oh God, so that's pretty cool. He does, yeah, and then he does the other thing where he jumps forward while he's closing his leg. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
showman.
strongly, I strongly suggest watching some
Like
of
the
his stuff.
Pete Townsend move? I don't know.
It was kind of a Pete Townsend move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
So yeah, Kevin,
it was a
when he
Chuck
said
Berry
that,
move
it's
that
like,
Pete
Berry.
Townsend took.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
leave me a little. Leave me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I
you were
honestly,
perfect. That was perfect. That was
I didn't
perfect.
expect you to go that route. So
Are you
awesome.
kidding me? Have you heard some of my songs?
Yes.
All right. Well, I
Yes.
mean, I have a song I wrote about my granddaughter that really illustrates my. In fact, I was telling Fiona, go tell everyone Jiddu's Chuck Berry, you know, and yeah, it's a Kaya blues.
Oh, brother.
Nice.
Kaya Eaton. Yeah, so
That
that's a
one?
fun song. Yes, I know you love the chorus. Hey, but in fairness to me, every lyric on that song was sung off the cuff. I just started playing, and it just was pretty funny. So I kept it.
It is funny. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's my 5 pick.
Great pick. I knew he'd be on here without question. All right. Another one to me. And Donnie, maybe I'm not going to be stealing from you all day. You may be going a different route. But my number 5 is Steve Vai, an absolute beast.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it was, I didn't, know a lot about music at all. The Kiss rabbit hole I was forced into. But for me, it's when he started out with...
You weren't forced into anything. You have your own brain
Oh,
and mind.
I was forced. Anyway, was when he started up with David Lee Roth. I find him, obviously very classical, right? In his training. Am I mistaken there or no?
He's got that. Yeah.
But just, he was always so clean, I thought. Like, he was a very clean player, but could be messy if he needed to. And anyone ever watched Generation X? Check that out sometimes, just to
Generation X.
It's a band. It's a group of guitarists who I will not name because so many of them could be on this list.
Right.
But where they play great, well-known songs with, and the guitar is the vocalist. The guitar is everything. You know what I mean? It's really fucking cool. But just, I don't know, he was just super cool to me. And he was always one of my favorites to watch. And that's why I took him. And that will be that. And I keep looking at the wrong board. So I'm
my favorite,
some of my notes.
My favorite scene in a movie is the Crossroads guitar duel with Steve Vai.
That he wins?
He's so awesome. He won that.
Damn right he
did. Who is he again?
It's like the devil went down to Georgia. The devil's part was way better than
Johnny's. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
that was
son
awesome.
of a bitch. Charlie's the best there's ever been.
That's great scene.
Yeah. But that is a duel that will live in infamy.
Indeed.
Yeah, but you're right. Vi kind of walked that line of being a technician, but without losing the soul to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He
And the rock
definitely
and roll,
was a soulful player, but he didn't make mistakes. And I think a lot of that had to do with not just who he was, but the time he spent with Zappa.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't make mistakes in Zappa's band. Like I think I told the story before
Somehow that's going to be.
when he auditioned for Zappa, play it in reggae, play it in 14/12, play it in this, play it in that. And he went, I can't do that. When he finally gave him something that was literally impossible. And Frank was like, yeah, I think Linda Ronstadt's looking for a guitarist. Ow.
Funny, right?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Okay, to you, Dungo.
All right. So this pick is another one that's a little left field kind of thing. And it's Steve Morse.
Steve Morris.
His band was the Dixie Dregs, but he's also played with Deep Purple and he's played with Kansas. But I love his studio album, High Tension Wires. If you ever want to scan for that, it's an instrumental album, and he's got a song off of that is amazing. Ghost Wind. So he's got a song on that album called Ghost Wind that is just awesome. It's amazing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. He's kind of a jazz fusion guy too, but rock and roll as well.
Yeah. What exactly is jazz fusion? What do you mean?
It's it's jazz kind of like jazz is mostly improvisation, but it's also like 32 bars. But the fusion it's more like modernized. Okay. Yeah, it's
mixed,
amplified,
fused.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because jazz wasn't obtuse enough of a definition that we had to we had to add something else to it.
Good point. It'd be more like jazz with synthesizers and electric guitars and distortion and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. That's to you, Kev, right? Leading off number 4.
Number 4. All right. This is going to be my step into the mainstream. And I just think he is a god on guitar, and it's Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page is just absolutely amazing, and he was one of those guys. I mean, you talk about Vi being a technician. I mean, Page started out as a studio guy. He wasn't healthy enough to tour, but he played on everybody from the Kinks to the Who to Van Morrison and Petula Clark and Shirley Bassey's Goldfinger. I mean, it's like we talked about Lukather on the last episode. There's just hundreds and hundreds of recordings that he was on. And when he's asked, he's like, I don't remember. There was so much of it for that spell. That he doesn't remember what songs he played on. And there was so much of that. To think that, you just got to wonder, he came in and played acoustic guitar on I Can't Explain by the Who. And you just think, like, why does Pete Townsend have somebody else? I mean, he's Pete Townsend. But anyway, it just, he did the work. And then when, I think it was when Clapton left, and then they wanted him to join the Yardbirds, and he didn't feel well enough to tour. And then he recommended Beck, and then Beck left, and he came in, and then everybody quit. And so instead of calling it the New Yardbirds, they called it Led Zeppelin, and pretty much changed rock and roll. I mean, talk about steeped in blues, but just became something else. With his playing style and his recording, it just became theatrical and arena filling, picturesque music. Just unbelievable.
Can you imagine being a young adult, like a 20-year-old in like late 60s, early 70s London, and just, going to like pub shows and the music scene around there must have been amazing.
Yeah, right?
Seeing some of that shit.
Yeah. Like Clapton, Beck, and Page on the same stage.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Really? Fuck me. Because that's a $20,000 ticket now.
Yeah. No shit. Right. And that's the nosebleeds.
Yeah. Right.
Was he a studio musician for, during, and after Led Zeppelin?
before.
Just all before.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. By the time by the time the Yardbirds turned it into Zeppelin, it was specifically a super group. It was designed as that, and it just became like, well, we're going to do this, and the record company was like, we're going to put everything behind it, because Bonham was a pretty big deal at the time. John Paul Jones was a killer studio musician as well, so it was kind of, I don't think nobody was surprised when Led Zeppelin became Led Zeppelin. So I don't think he really went back too much after that, and he wasn't playing on any Mary Ann Faithful songs after that.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Awesome pick. All right, Brother Mark.
Okay, well, I'm going with Randy Rhoads from Quiet Riot and Black Sabbath. I know he's going to come up again, but his guitar playing was, it was technical. It was fast. To me, the whole thing with Ozzy coming out, with Randy Rhoads, that put him over the top, in my opinion. His guitar playing was just up and down that, those two albums until, unfortunately, the plane crash. Yeah. But I don't know. And the song, I don't know.
That's awesome.
He's absolutely incredible, but I'm going to not talk about him much because I know there's other people that really, really like him. And, he could have been anywhere up to number one, but so.
We shall see. Maybe
you got to wonder what Ozzy's, you got to wonder what Ozzy's debut solo would have been if Randy wasn't part of the equation.
Yeah, some amazing guitarist wasn't. Yeah.
Right, but who else was there at that time that was doing the things that Randy was, but whatever. Yeah. So it was a beautiful fit. It was absolutely amazing.
There was one other maybe, but they weren't going there. Awesome pick with Randy, Mark. I knew that was obviously going to come up at some point today.
Again, I'm sure.
So number 4 to me, this dude is just badass, and talking about Generation X before was Steve Vai. This is another Aussie guitarist, not Randy, and it's Zakk Wylde. I think he may be my favorite of them. Cool. Randy is Randy, obviously, but I don't know. I like the crunchiness of Zakk. Everything about his sound, I wish I could explain it better than I'm going to, but it's just powerful, aggressive. Something to be said about it. Gosh, now the name left me. Black Label Society.
Yeah.
I need to get out there and start buying some of the CDs and listening to them in its entirety rather than just perusing Apple Music once in a while and listening to some of that shit. But it's amazing, too, to hear him do a lot of the Aussie stuff like the Black Sabbath and I think they might be coming this summer up here. It would be awesome if we could all go to that. It might be Hampton Beach.
To steal a term from you, Zakk Wylde is very battle axe.
Yes, indeed, he is.
That's AJ's word. You did have.
Yeah.
You better steal it because that's the only way you're going to get to use it. Damn it.
He's ballsy. He's definitely in your face.
Ass.
Yeah.
And actually, I did see him, which I will say with a tribute to Pantera, because it's not technically Pantera, but I saw them in Guilford a couple years ago, and he was actually, Kev, did you go to that one with me? I can't remember.
No, that was right after Ozzy passed. That one got canceled.
No, the previous year I saw them.
Oh no, I
And
didn't
it
go to
was-
that one. No.
He was awesome, and the head shake with the hair. He's just never stops that. He's kick ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year exactly, it got canceled because it was right at Ozzy's death when they were supposed to play here, and he had to be present for the funeral and whatnot. So I should be able to have tickets for that. The guy that gave them to me said when they come back this year, they're mine. So hopefully one of you donkeys will go with me this year for the love of Pete. To you, Dongo.
All right. So now I'm transitioning from the kind of the deeper cuts to the everybody knows, but the middle one. So the middle guy is kind of a
transition.
No, he's a musician, and he's not someone people would think of as a guitarist more than a frontman in a band, and it's Rick Emmett. Because I've picked him for my favorite vocalist, but I'm also picking him for one of my favorite guitar players because I think it's hard to sing and play guitar. I think we can all agree to do that. He does both the lead vocals and the lead guitar, and he plays some pretty kick-ass rhythm guitar. He's a good writer. I think he's awesome. I think he's an awesome musician.
Absolutely.
And I love the, he's got an instrumental. It's called Midsummer's Night's Dream. It's an awesome. I tried to play that a lot when I was in high school, and I like it. So Rick Emmett,
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Aren't they touring?
I think so.
Hey,
I think
He's
they're
having
having a
troubles.
reunion.
Like he can't go a long schedule. He's got to take long pauses in
Right.
between and all that kind of stuff. But you know, he can sing still awesome. But
Yeah. I mean, all of these musicians that we love just getting up there, and some of them to still at their age be able to pull it off, you know, gracefully, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's kind of heartbreaking because I think about like 10 years from now. I mean, God willing, we'll all still be here, and you know, who's going to be gone then? And it's frightening. But anyway,
Every time that I go to a show that's like real musicians and no tracks, no sampling or whatever else, I think to myself, is this going to be the last one?
Exactly.
Is this going to be the last time I go and see like original lineup? I saw Chicago last summer. There was one guy
it's
from the original band. At what point does it stop being
Chicago
and
At that point.
Well, let's see. Foreigner's been doing it for years, you know, with no original members. At least Lou Graham's been doing a few tunes.
Graham's
with them.
gone, but it's I want to say Mick Rouse, but it's not. I can't think of it. But anyway, he's been with them. But yeah, the rest of it is.
Yeah, but Lou Graham's been doing some vocals for them this year. Is what I was saying. Just a few songs. But you know, at least there's one original member. But Foreigner, you know, it's kind of like a Boston, and not to go off on down a rabbit hole, but Foreigner, Boston, it's bands that like, you know, I mean, how so many of the bands we've talked about in the recent past just have that, you know, one or two key member. Mick Rouse.
Yes. Big producer. I didn't want to say Mick Rouse, but it was. I don't know why I didn't want to say it.
But just, you know, where a Foreigner didn't have like, you know, they were all important and all not. I mean, look at Boston, same thing. Like
the vocals are key, their signature.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying that there wasn't, I mean, they're all replaced now pretty much, and people are still going because they just want to hear the music. Like you couldn't do that with an Aerosmith without Perry and Tyler. Do you see what I mean? Like,
right.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't big when Perry was out of the band, but
you get my point, though, Mark. I'm saying without both of them. Like, if Steven Tyler and Joe Perry were not there, then people wouldn't go see it probably. Where a Foreigner, they do. And that's why I'm agreeing with you, Kevin, saying that they should end. Or they should say,
Journey's coming around.
Tribute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's funny too, because I mean, you can get a rig and people are so talented at guitar and you can sound exactly like Joe Perry, but you're not going to come out on stage and sound exactly like Steve Tyler.
No, you're not.
Or Lou Gramm or Brad Delp and I know they all say it with I can't think of his name. The little fella that took over for Steve Perry, but I mean, he's the one that's with him now, the Malaysian fella there. Well, I mean, he does a good job, but when people say he sounds just like him, it's like, he sounds enough like him, but he doesn't sound just like him.
He does a good job.
You want to talk about Steve Perry for a second. He has a voice that for some reason a lot of people seem to be able to come close to. I mean, like the little short dumpy guy on an AGT that won. He won the whole thing, and
I was just going to say the exact opposite, that nobody can touch him.
I'm just saying, people try to imitate him all the time, and they at least get around it a little bit.
Right. Then they can to some degree, but to actually be like he was back in the day.
Oh, no.
But it's I always say, people like, what is it? Don't Stop Believing. It's like the #1 karaoke song, and I'm like, Steve Perry can't sing Steve Perry anymore. What makes you think you can?
Exactly.
Please stop.
All right, well, we might agree to disagree, I guess, but I'm just saying a lot of people seem to be able to at least come close to it, and maybe not in the range or whatever, but
right. But my original point, which I think was AJ's point, was that the vocals are so signature when you talk about somebody like, like a Steve Perry or a Brad Delp or something like that. It's such a distinct sound, whereas you can get the gear and get the effects pedals and whatever else. And, it's like Nuno Bettencourt talking about picking up Eddie Van Halen's guitar.
Yeah.
It sounded like Eddie Van Halen because he had it set up to sound like Eddie Van Halen. So that's all. That's all.
Okay. All right.
That's all.
All right. Little dissension here in the group right now.
Right.
But, we can work past it all together now, right?
It'd be kind of boring if we all agreed.
Yes, it is.
And now, a short commercial break.
Welcome to Halftime at 80s High. Want to just get a little info out there for you folks, including our website, which is pastimes at 80shigh.com. And that is 80S for 80s, pastimes at 80shigh.com. Shoot us an email at pta80h@gmail.com, pta80h@gmail.com. Love the feedback you've been sending. We can't appreciate it more. Check us out on all the socials, including our new Facebook, which is Pastimes at 80s High. And then for interaction, Pastimers at 80s High. Find us on all the major podcast platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And please remember that those 5-star reviews and the comments go a long way helping us move up that chain. So thank you so much. We couldn't appreciate it more. And back to the podcast, folks. All right, Dongo, wrapping up number 4, and that's 3 to you, Kev.
All right. I am going to, I don't feel like I'm going to have a lot of support in this group for my number 3 pick, but there are reasons. And Soviet.
Yes.
My number 3 pick is Jerry Garcia.
Nice.
That guy is absolutely amazing. what he does with the guitar is mind-blowing. And I love the fact that, I mean, he admits, he says, the reason that the Grateful Dead never played a song the same way twice is because we can't.
Yeah, right.
We can't.
That's a jam band.
I only got to see them once, and it was not a good night for them. So it's not really that live. You know, I don't have that. But it's amazing to go through and listen to the recordings, and there's so many really great ones, and see what they do with different songs and the style, the way that they change it, and the different things that they bring in is just amazing. There's an interview with John Mayer, who's kind of filling in for him with the Dead and Company, who is, I mean, outside of our era, but that kid is pretty amazing guitarist for a youngster. But there was an interview with him, and I don't fully understand it because I don't get, but he's like, yeah, because Jerry does this in Mixolydian, then he moves to Dorian, and then and it's like
some things I have to learn them to be able to explain them in a way to myself that I wish other people would have just been like, so that's what it is. But my brain doesn't understand modes based on, well, it's a major scale, but you would start on the third note. It sounds like a crazy puzzle to me. But what I do know is that certain modes sound like certain things. So if you say Lydian, I know that it will sound like this, you know, and so I can figure it out. And then some things like Dorian are like just major with an extra note in it, or mixed Lydian. I don't know. But you can feel it out. You'll begin to create your own theory.
I don't know. I think he's playing some cool stuff. That's all I know. I don't know what, you know, pentatonic scale this and that and the other. I don't know what he's doing. And I'm guessing that Jerry probably did, but he wasn't thinking about that. He was thinking about, this is what I feel. And just an amazing storied career there like nobody else. And it's too bad because I had a little bit of that feeling in the first place. And I think a lot of people shy away from them because of their fans.
Right.
Like the whole, I mean, there's nobody who I'm going to give up my life for and follow them around, especially if everybody stinks like sweat and patchouli.
Yeah.
I'm just not hanging out with that crowd. I can't do it.
A thing.
It became a thing. And it was, and this, you know, we were talking about tribute bands, and I wonder, because the Grateful Dead never stopped. Right. When did they stop touring and start becoming touring as a tribute band? When did it become a nostalgia show? Because they went from the 60s right through. But at one point, there was one night they played as a fading out 60s band, and the next night they played as a kind of nostalgia.
Right.
Kind of
nostalgia.
Three ring circus kind of thing. But just amazing guitarist, his own style. I mean, he just brings something to it that nobody else did. I mean, it's wild, the stuff that he does, and you listen to it and you're like,
what was it the lead singer too?
Talking about jazz, improv kind of stuff, same thing, you know.
I'm not a big
jam bands
fan,
are just
well, you know, Jerry Garcia is the lead singer of the Grateful Dead.
Him and Bob Weir traded off.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. Weir is no slouch either. He doesn't get the credit. What he does as a rhythm guitarist to offset the crazy shit that Jerry was doing is amazing in and of itself as well. But yeah, they had, I think most of the keyboard players sang a couple songs here and there too. Vince Welnick, who was with the Tubes and the Grateful Dead. That's kind of an odd musical career, right? To go from the Tubes to the Grateful Dead. That's kind of bizarre, but
their fans are called Deadheads, right?
That is correct.
Okay, a question: do Parrot Heads follow Jimmy Buffett around?
That's correct.
Until he died, yes. They don't so much follow him now that he's dead.
I had a fun time.
That might be true.
Now Kenny Chesney kind of took over.
Well, Fish
he
too.
probably they encompassed them, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, one of the hockey teams we used to beat was the Parrot Heads. There weren't too many of them, but we did beat them.
But I like how you brought in John Mayer because he's a good example. You know, he does his like poppy stuff to pay the bills, and then he does his like musicianship stuff with the Dead and Company. Yeah, because he is a good guitar player. People do see him as a good player.
Yeah, I think so. And like I said, I don't think there's too many other people out there. I mean, there's, like you say, Fish and Trey Anastasio, and there's that band Goose that's out there now. That's kind of that kind of psychedelic touring kind of stuff. But to actually walk in with the rest of the band and do some kind of tribute to what Jerry did.
Yeah.
Mayer he's got the knowledge and the skill.
But Jerry was a good player. I mean, for sure. His improv stuff. Yeah.
And the exact improv is what makes them a jam band. And
absolutely.
Why
they're definitely a jam band.
Do you know
this is a term for them?
Yeah. And this is a fact that they recorded every show, like professionally. So that's pretty fucking incredible.
But they were also the antithesis of your boys, because if you walked into a Kiss show with a tape recorder, Gene would come down and take it from you and take your wallet. Whereas the Grateful Dead were like, okay, you're taping, you're in this section over here. Yeah. So your microphones aren't blocking people's view. They actually
and you get a better picture. Exactly. They encouraged it. Yeah. That's my point.
Because they were getting their money from touring. They weren't getting money from record sales. So
it was a machine. Their tours were a machine. They were however many tractor trailer trucks, hundreds of people employed by them. I mean, it was a long, strange trip, as they say.
Well, Kevin, you bring up Gene Simmons. He might have stolen your wallet, but he would have let you come home and clean his toilets for stealing your wallet.
Well, if you gave him $10,000, he'd let you wash his toilet.
Exactly. You'd have to pay him more.
Depends how much money you had in your wallet.
You'd have to pay him more to clean his toilet. Unbelievable. All right. Good pick, Kev. All right, Mark, we're off to you. Number 3.
Okay, well, my number 3 pick is a very obscure guitar player named Edward Van Halen.
Who?
And you never heard it? There was this band back in the 70s called Van Halen. Speaking of Gene Simmons, he kind of discovered them.
Van Halen.
Yeah.
So he likes to take that credit, but
of course he does. But anyway,
the fans in Southern California discovered them.
Yeah. But I mean, what a innovator. What a innovator. I mean, my goodness. One of the funniest things about Eddie Van Halen was he just tuned his guitar until it was in tune, and you had to tune to him. He didn't use a guitar tuner or anything like that. So if you ever try to play his music, you got to find the exact spot, but his finger tapping, I mean, he revolutionized the finger tap with his right hand. I mean, Donnie, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah.
Go on and I saw a video once. He's doing Mean Street. I mean, they only show that his intro to Mean Street and that bano bano nano now nano bano bano. But he's not picking anything. He's like playing it like a freaking piano. It's incredible. When Sammy Hagar came into the band, he got more into the synth and everything. But I mean, what an absolutely just original guitar player. I mean, Eddie Van Halen had his style, and it was never. I mean, he was the original.
I mean, he's without question one of the greatest of all time. Still is. Still haven't done a tribute to him, mind you, which infuriates me.
He was like a COVID. He was COVID time, wasn't he? Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, but it's more an Alex, Dave, and Sammy thing where
they just can't get their heads out of their asses.
They're fucking assholes. Let's put it that way, because Dave was on board. Alex was doing it with Wolf, and Dave was on board at first, but not if it was a tribute to Eddie. He literally, I think, even said once, it should be a tribute to me too. Like, Dave is fucked up, but that they still can't get that in line. There was a big discussion about it online the other day, actually, that they still can't get it to work. And I think that's just shitty personally, but
is David Lee Roth, is he a sociopath or is he a narcissist or both or what?
All of the above.
all of the above.
all the above.
Eccentric. He's
also a
interesting
paramedic and a
individual.
mountain climber.
Yeah, I know, and a martial arts expert and everything.
Right.
But yeah, he was not a good talk show host. I brought that up before. He was terrible at it.
Well,
But,
Mark, just to continue your excellent pick, because I'm after you, and I have Eddie down there at 3-2, surprisingly, because you'd think he'd be higher. He's just incredible. I mean, he's the one guitarist where some of his solos, if you go online and watch, were like 25 minutes long. I am a person who, when I go to a concert, I hate solos. I think they should be thrown out and there should be 5 other songs put in there. But with Eddie,
you speak for most people.
Mesmerized. Was incredible. Just to watch him play everything he did differently on a guitar. Like you said, he was an innovator, and I'll leave it at that and go to you, Dongo.
Well, surprisingly, number 3, I also had Eddie Van Halen.
Nice. Well, this is favorites.
Because my top 3 is, they're favorites, but there is also my Mount Rushmore types.
Nice.
So he's one that has to be up there on the Mount Rushmore.
Damn right.
Because he was an innovator. He was an entertainer. He was, he was fun to watch. He enjoyed what he did. He was a tradesman of his craft, so that's why I picked him. But he said there's a clip out there going around the internet where his hammer-ons were from Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
He was watching Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page doing his, he had one hand, he said he had his right hand up in the air while he was doing a
with his left.
And Eddie's like, oh, I got to do that. So that was his influence for the hammer-ons. So,
before the internet, nobody could search things and whatever. But, lately everybody's going, oh, Eddie Van Halen didn't invent tapping and pull hammer-ons and pull-offs and this and that. And I never claimed that I did. But I do know how and when I figured out how to do it. And on top of that, I never really heard anybody do with it what I did, which is actual pieces of music. But I'll never forget, Alex and I used to go to every concert at the Forum in LA, and Led Zeppelin's playing, and Jimmy Page is going like this. He's going. Okay, so he's got his hand up in the air, and I'm going. So basically, I just moved the nut. Okay, this part right here is the nut. But then I instead of using this hand, I use this hand. So like right now, if I go like this, You can't tell which finger I'm using. This hand or that hand? You tell me, right hand or left hand? I'm using both, okay? So, no, so my point being is it's basically this finger or these two or however many you want to use is just an extension of this hand. Okay, so if I'm playing an A,
obviously he was doing. If he had his right hand in the air, of course it was left hand.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's good.
but-
He wasn't using his middle one.
Okay, but no. So we got it from Jimmy Page, but I mean,
Yes.
But the way he did that with his right hand, I just can't.
Yeah.
There's
fathom
more.
How he did
There's
that.
more to come. More
So
to come.
probably not where he got it from, but there was a jazz guitarist back in the 30s or 40s that actually did the right-handed tapping as well.
Yeah.
Duke Ellington's drummer, Sonny Greer, said of Django, "That cat could take a guitar and make it talk. Nobody played like him." Reinhardt is regarded as one of the greatest guitar players of all time, and the first important European jazz musician to make a major contribution with jazz guitar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, did pre-internet, did Eddie know that? Fuck no.
No,
He had no
right.
idea, but
Yeah.
but it actually the concept was well before him, but
Oh, God,
he,
yeah.
he turned it into a signature.
Yeah.
He used to
And,
turn
you know,
around on stage when he did it too, Kev. Like,
in the early days, yeah, so people couldn't see what he was doing.
Yeah.
But it's funny now because you see the videos, and it's great that these young kids are talented, but there's such a huge difference from a 7-year-old girl playing Eruption and being the guy that wrote Eruption.
yes, exactly.
There's a big difference there. It's, you know, for a
Right.
kid to sit and play it, yeah, that's great. I'd be proud of the kid, and that's nice. But yeah, you didn't create anything. You just mimicked it.
Right.
Yeah,
Mos
so Kevin,
Eisley.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was one of the points I was going to make. Is that's one you go into a music store, a guitar, instrument store, and people. That's one of the things they play. They play Eruption. You know, look at me. You know,
Right.
and
Because there's
No
still the side that
stairway to
says,
heaven.
Careful. Hey, no stairway. Denied.
absolutely no
Right.
stairway to heaven. So you have to play Eruption instead.
Right.
the funny
Right.
thing, I go in a music store and I freeze. I can't play in there. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not I have zero ego when it comes to guitar playing.
I can't play at
I'll
home.
Can I take this guitar and amp with me and bring it back tomorrow and trade it for a different one?
Yeah, exactly.
There is
Because I
some
don't want to play in
things,
front of people.
you know, you go on TikTok, right? And there's there's hot girls playing note for note solos, and I won't say a guitar player because it might come up, but they're playing it note for note, one of the best solos ever. And there's like 20,000 videos of people playing it note for note. And it means nothing to me because, like, they didn't write that solo, you know?
Yeah.
They can practice it and get it perfect for the video, but did they create that solo?
That
You know?
Guitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're sitting in your living room and I want to play Eruption, that's great. But there's no need to do it in public unless you're in a tribute band, and there's no need to put it on the internet.
Exactly.
Right.
Dear
Yeah.
Lord. Awesome. All right.
Agreed.
Kev, we're going to go to you here to kick off number 2, and then we'll go to Mark so he can have the same 2 and 1 as me.
Yes, we're gonna have 3, 2, 1. Same thing. I knew it.
I know Mark and I are going to have the same 2 and 1
Oh, yeah,
probably, but
Well, I mean,
but to you,
yeah,
Kev.
I kept going back and forth with my 2 and 1. So, but it, yeah, okay, Kev.
All right. So at number 2, Prince Rogers Nelson.
Yep.
This is a guy that was just, I mean, underrated because he was a pop star. I don't really think he ever in his life got the accolades that he deserved as a guitarist. I mean, if somebody told him you can never play pop or funk or soul ever again, he probably could have been one of the best heavy metal guitarists of the era as well.
Yeah.
He just had that much skill. I mean, we talked about it before. The While My Guitar Gently Weeps at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, he had been shunned. Now, Jan Hammer was the editor of Rolling Stone and had left him off the year before. Had left him off the top 100 guitarist for Rolling Stone. I keep getting those confused. Is it Teen Beat, Tiger Beat, Rolling Stone? I got to show you. Hold on. I got to show you a picture here because this is the exact moment that I canceled my Tiger Beat Rolling Stone subscription.
Oh, you told me this one.
Right
yes,
there.
The Spice
when I got
Girls.
that in the mail, this
Yeah.
is not a music magazine anymore.
No.
That was July of '97. I canceled my subscription.
Done.
That's not a rock magazine.
No.
So anyway, Jan Hammer had kind of shunned him on the top 100 guitarists, and that was kind of Jan Werner. I'm sorry, I was talking about the keyboard player.
Yeah.
But he was also one of the heads of the Hall of Fame. So when Prince walks out on that stage with Jeff Lynne and Donnie Harrison and was it Mike Campbell and Tom Petty and whatever else, and proceeds to kick everybody's ass. That was like him looking at Jan Werner going, suck it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Who's the top 100 guitarist now? Yeah. Joni Mitchell, who's on the Tiger Beat list apparently, and I'm like, I don't have a
You
problem
meant
with
Rolling
Joni.
Stone.
Rolling Stones, Tiger Beat. I get them confused. Like I said, they got the bright pink cover, and then the anyway. Joni Mitchell was on that list, and I'm like, nothing against Joni Mitchell, but really, and high up. And I'm thinking to myself,
she was a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Played guitar, but not
their
anywhere.
argument was that her chord structure and whatever else. I'm like, okay, but no. So yeah, Prince, just a god on the guitar.
Nice.
And one of the top guys that I'm sorry that I never saw.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I saw him in Purple Rain, but that doesn't count.
just to one thing that you always bring that up, Kevin, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I can't remember who I saw just saying this a week or two ago, but I believe it was one of the people playing with him that night.
He's just sort of strumming along with us, and he gets to his solo, and he started to play that solo off over to the left, and then he moved to the center of the stage, and he was wailing. It sounded great, So we were all up there and we were all playing along. And all of a sudden, Prince turns his back to the audience and he's looking at us and he's playing, and he falls off the stage, and we were, oh, God. Prince just fell off the dang stage. And he had this guy in the audience, a great big black guy in the audience, grabbed him and pushed him back up onto the stage. It was a show he put on a show for us. It wasn't really for the audience, it was a show for us. And then he just played this blistering solo, and it was basically up to Tom. He was going to cue me to start the ending, He turned around and he cued me to start the ending. I started it, and we finished the song, and then Prince walked off to the side of the stage, and he just threw his guitar up in the air and turned around and walked off with this little sort of swagger, this little shaking his head. And then everybody sort of realized, like, where'd that guitar go?
And saying the same exact fucking thing you do. He blew everyone off the stage. Incredible. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
all right,
maybe one of the finest performances.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Like you were saying with guitar solos wasting time, if it doesn't have a point, then yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you get that Eddie Van Halen solo that blows you away, or the Prince one that's just like
something special.
All right, yeah, I'll give you a pass on that one for a guitar solo.
Yeah. Awesome.
You'll glue my ears back on.
All right, Mark.
All right. Well, my number 2 Hunter, just above Fred, coming in second to Fred Bear, would be. This is guitar players. Ted Nugent,
yes.
Uncle fucking Ted. Okay, he's fed so many impoverished people with all his venison and everything, but to his guitar work, right now, I'm going to tell you, he did not even make the top 250. And my number 1 pick did not make the top 250 on Tiger Rolling Stone magazine. And this guy, I'm telling you, right when he was in the Amboy Dukes, then it became Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes, right through today. Me and AJ saw him down in Hampton Beach, was it like 3 years ago?
Yes.
Incredible show. He still friggin' is playing friggin' immensely incredible. Okay,
the energy incredible, and I'm just biting. I'm just talking with you, Mark, because it's my 2 as well. So we'll just blend this together. How's that go?
Okay, sounds good. AJ's number 2 pick, Ted Nugent.
So yeah, that was an incredible show.
What a great lick! Nothing but great killer American shit kicker guitar licks just for you, motherfuckers. Yeah. All right, wait a minute. Nothing but the best killer fucking freedom-drenched guitar licks in the world. You came here tonight because you want the number 1 killer fucking shit-kicker freedom-drenched guitar lick in the world. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you demand, isn't it? Well, only I unleash this motherfucker!
he's in his 70s as well, and he still has that cocaine energy for a sober man that has been sober his whole life.
He's high strung,
just
sure.
incredible, incredible musician with that singing Birdland with its fucking feedback.
Oh my God.
It's so good. And speaking of Chuck Berry, Kevin, and you guys, and Mark, and Bo Diddley.
Loves Chuck Berry.
Bo Diddley.
He's hugely influenced by Motown.
Rhythm
Big
and
influence,
blues.
Motown.
The most underrated guitarist in my world is my opinion. I don't care what anyone else has to say about it, but his politics shun him, which is unfortunate because
absolutely ridiculous.
Looks beyond that. You got to separate the artist from the person, from the you know what I'm saying, boys.
Hence,
you
we
said
picked
this
Chuck
last
Berry.
week, Don.
No, I do think that he was shunned even before any. We've only been truly divided politically for about 15 years ish, 20, maybe 20. And 25. He was kind of underrated before that, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
He should have been out there more. He might have just slipped through the cracks, kind of thing.
Because he was selling out stadiums, out not arenas, boys, stadiums.
Yes. And I'd like to finish on my point.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Because first of all, one concert that Donnie and all of you, I would like you to look at is the one in Germany, and look at Great White Buffalo, or listen to it and watch it.
Thank you. Yes, I do believe it's true. Danke Shane. We thank you very much. Yes, we do. Everybody, that's what I gotta say.
Derek St. Holmes actually does the first part of the guitar solo.
Derek Street Holmes.
Okay, David. Oh, God love you, David. But anyway, and then Nugent comes in. It was the most tasteful and just effortless. Look so easy. It's unreal. And my God, just listen to that. And
nice.
And he still plays great. And the other thing I wanted to mention, and I've talked about this before, when you, AJ, I, and David went to
this is going to be Springfield. I knew it. Go on.
Okay, I'll let you talk about it.
No, because this was one of my great joys and one of your great fears. So I'll let you go.
But we were about to be stampeded, AJ.
And I always went to the front of said stampede. Go on.
Okay, well, congratulations. I didn't want to die at 22 years old.
Are you going to say it or not?
I didn't want to die at 22.
Okay.
And they blew Aerosmith. He blew Aerosmith away.
Yeah.
So
this was...
Go ahead. It's
This
your turn
was
now.
the Aerosmith, and Mark always argues this as well, but it was the Aerosmith Back in the Saddle tour. Now, it was not when Back in the Saddle came out
Okay,
as
I
a
gotcha.
song.
And now I understand.
It's what they
finally.
named the tour later because Joe Perry's back and they're back on tour together.
That makes sense.
We go to Springfield, Mass, and Ted Nugent is opening, which, you know, we're probably more excited about anyway, but excited to see everything. And we're up on the floor, general admission, like the good old days always was. And the lights went out, and you know how the crowd rushes to the front. That was Mark's death fear. And of course,
Yeah, David
him and
wasn't
Dave
thrilled
went
about it
that
either.
way, and I went to the wall and leaned on the wall up front.
Well, me and David went. Yeah, he went with me too. He wasn't into death that day
Exactly.
either.
But I enjoyed being crunched at the front wall because I had the puke scenario that we've spoken about on the show before. I would just turn around and pretend to vomit, and everyone would get out of my way. So I was never trapped.
Brilliant.
It was brilliant. Nobody wants to be puked on. I don't care how tight it is. Nope. Not to mention the joints that you got to smoke while you were up there. You know, they're just passing them around.
I got a story about that, but
Yeah, man. Anyway, Ted Nugent, boys.
Nice.
Ted Nugent.
Uncle
That's
Ted.
Dunga.
He's on the list just for Stranglehold.
All right.
Yeah,
So you guys,
Even without the
make it
rest of the
just for that
catalog, just that.
He's
there
earned
for
it.
me.
that is a badass too,
Yeah.
for sure.
Battle axe.
That's right. That's your word.
All right, so I got to do it. He's on the Tiger Beat. I mean,
The Rolling Stone.
He's on top 100. I love the guy. It's Jimi Hendrix. I gotta put him up
you
there.
went
I
with him.
love his playing. I love his innovation. I love his vibe. The dude was mellow, but he can play the guitar, and I love it. I have to
27.
do like a 1-2, and you guys are gonna hate me, but so Jimi Hendrix wrote Little Wing. But there's another guitar player that also played Little Wing, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I got to do a 1-2. Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Jimi Hendrix wrote the tune.
Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. That's all she ever thinks about. Riding with the wind.
The tune is amazing from Jimi Hendrix, but Stevie Ray Vaughan played the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I love the Stevie Ray Vaughan version. so awesome. I would have put him, so they're my 1-2, the two guys. I think Jimmy was more of an artist, a creator, and Stevie Ray was just a awesome guitar player. But so that's why I got Jimi Hendrix up there, just because of his creativity. His creativity. I wasn't a fan of the Star Spangled Banner like everybody is. Like to me, that was just like, man, whatever.
I didn't like it either.
But no, it's
honest.
like Little Wing and all the songs.
Manic Depression.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
Yeah.
Purple Haze.
Yeah.
I'm always a
I think there's a
Purple
lot of
Haze
similarities between Hendrix and Stevie Ray, and I don't think there'd be a Stevie Ray without Hendrix.
Right.
But if I'm going to the record collection, I'm still grabbing Stevie Ray before I'm grabbing Jimmy. Nothing against him. I
probably would lean to Stevie Ray, but I put Jimmy first because I think he was the OG.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He took it somewhere where it had not been, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Incredible. Undeniable.
Yep.
Woodstock,
So I guess
baby.
we skipped
Woodstock.
We get to number one. We get to skip
So I
Donnie
squeezed
now.
I squeezed in 2. I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah, but that's 2. Donnie still has a number 1, brother.
I took a whole album side last cast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Mark was thinking that you didn't have a number 1 now. Which, by the way, Mark and my number 1 will be able to tie into that one too, Donnie. But
Because I morph those two, even though they're two totally different individuals and different styles.
We make exceptions here at
They are
Pastimes
interconnected
at
with the Little Wing.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Kev.
Okay, number 1, definitely a personal choice here. I think this guy is just an amazing guitarist, no matter how you slice it. He's predominantly known for Money for Nothing, but that's not why I love him. And I think it was an intersection of my taste and what he started doing with his solo work. It just kind of intersected perfectly. He started doing what I wanted to listen to at that time, and I'm talking probably late 90s, early 2000s up till now. Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits has just always been an amazing guitarist. I mean, you go back to Sultans of Swing. Like I mentioned before, Money for Nothing, which is just such a signature sound of the guitar. I guess he was trying to emulate Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top, and he kind of just went.
He just missed my cut, by the way. He missed my cut just barely.
Yeah.
I love Billy Gibbons.
The solo stuff that he's got out, he's just has such a command of the instrument, and he's got that picking with the thumb and 2 fingers.
A pick is actually the biggest amplifier that there is. But then after a few years of doing that, I learned to finger pick because I started playing in folk places. You start doing this slow thumb and finger thing, and you start dribbling about, trying to make sense of it. The breakthrough really comes when you can get your thumb to play 4 beats to the bar on the bottom strings like this. And then your fingers are supposed to fit in with that, which is a clever trick if you can do it. It's like learning to water ski. I'm up, I'm down. But But once you start to be able to pick a little tune out in a chord, get the rhythm going, and you can just hold a chord with the left hand, like a C chord there, and you can go, which sounds quite a lot, really. It's kind of impressive, considering the fact your left hand's not doing anything. It's just holding this chord. And then the idea is that you can go on developing that, and then maybe you pick out a little bit of a tune at the same time. So you're accompanying yourself. You know.
And just doing so many amazing things and making such a sound. You started off with Roy Clark, Dongo, and I wanted to say, I think I'm safe at this point. Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
I've got an album of the two of them together, neck and neck. They're also like the Les Paul, where there was just, they just had this.
That was my one.
Dancing on the fretboard with their fingers. And it was, Chet Atkins was your number one.
AJ is throwing a funny in there.
I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah, he's just got so many great albums, and his lyrics are amazing. And it's just, he is just an amazing talent. And I saw him a couple years back down the waterfront in Boston. Just a legend. Just an absolute legend, and cool. I could listen to him all day long.
I was tossing around with people at work, and his name came up, and I'm like, oh, I can't take that's Kevin's. Thank you.
Kevin's taking it.
Yeah.
Well, you knew mine and Mark's, so great.
I was certainly you number one to Donnie.
It was between Knopfler and Nugent for my number one because I knew nobody else was going to pick Nugent.
All right, Mark, wrap it up. Well, you know what I mean. Wrap our pick up.
Well, I'm obviously going with Steve Miller, and I'm going The Sound of Kiss, Mr. Paul Frehley, also known as Ace Frehley. So many guitar players. When his guitar solo comes on, it ties the Kiss sound together in all his guitar fills. And the way they treat it, I don't want to get, we already have a cast coming out about that. He, his aloof style just in the back, and, he made a living out of minor pentatonic scales, but you know what? He knew how to do it. And he influenced Slash. He influenced so many guitar players. I wish he would have played on Creatures of the Night and everything. And I get so excited.
What was the album, Mark? Say it again.
I wish that, after Music from the Elder, which he was so against, correctly.
You wish he played on what album?
Band. Say what?
I wanted you to repeat the album. You said it wrong. So, Creatures.
Music from the Elder.
Creatures.
He wanted to play on. He would have played on Creatures if they never went to Music from the Elder.
I know, brother. You said Creatures to the Night, and I was just trying to fix it.
Did I really say Creatures to the? See how wound up I get about this whole situation? But man, flashy, flashy.
Guitarist wanted with flashing balls, and I will continue because it's my number one. Everyone, as I will always say. Well, we've said from the beginning of the show today, this is our favorite, not the best, because Ace Frehley would be the first to tell you that he was not a virtuoso. He never took a lesson. when people would ask him on documentaries and guitar shows to show him, he'd laugh with his fucking hilarious cackle.
But you're kind of like a spaceman.
No, actually, I'm a plumber. On the side. Look.
Hey, well, listen, I got a little piece of pipe backstage I'd like to have you work on.
Tell me about it. Oh, you love it, but I like that.
And say, I couldn't tell you. I never took a lesson. I just do it. You know, and
Me
that's
too, brother.
exactly
Me too.
who he was. As every Kiss fan knows, Ace Frehley's solos were a song within a song. You
Exactly.
can hum them. You can sing them, and they were the sound of Kiss, like you said, Mark. Well, all four of them were the sound of Kiss, but him and Peter completed that sound. He's fucking incredible. And like Sonny said, with his bracelets and everything banging off the strings and just the sloppiness of it, he was pure, beautiful, and sloppy. He made a sound that was so influential, a look that was so influential as well. When people say influence, I'm not joking when I say this. Obviously, there's Jimmy Page, who was a huge Ace influence, if not the biggest. Ace might be in that top 5, if not,
Absolutely.
top 3 of most influential guitar players of all time, just because he made more people pick that instrument up. Period. Blah, blah, blah. Anything else,
stop.
Mark? Or I'll go to Dongo to wrap her up.
I just, it's really sad that we lost him this year.
Yes, it is.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yep.
So that's all I got.
All right, Dongo, number 1 to you, buddy.
Very cool. And this is going back to Mark. Had already grabbed him, but I had to go with my favorite guitar player, and that's Randy Rhoads.
Yes.
I had to take him at number 1 because he's my favorite. He's my favorite guitar player because he was one who could, for me, he was one that could play a metal song but have a melodic solo and have it fit seamlessly. To have a melody that's sweet and amazing, but also kick ass in a metal song. Oh. And, his rhythms were excellent. His classical influence. I played D in a recital and I fucked it all up, but
easy to do.
But, I loved it. It was great. But that Randy Rhoads tribute album, I got that, and I was just like, I'm in love, And he was lost so tragically and so young. Who knows what he could have done? It was amazing what he did in such a short period of time. And you hear an artist gets killed in a plane crash, and a lot of people sadly get killed in plane crashes, but his was like, that was a stupid plane crash. Like they were just like joyriding, like a bus driver was like, hey, let's go fucking steal a plane and, do Strife the Aussies tour bus.
The
like
wig was in
idiots.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
The
they were being
wind was
idiots
in the
and
bus.
taken way too early. Who knows
Take
what
it
could
from
have
us.
been? Yeah. So he's my number one. He was
Was
awesome.
anybody else doing the classical that he did? I mean, that's where I became aware
Probably
of
not
that
at that time, yeah.
marriage and it became
Yeah.
a part of what the rock that we listened to growing up. It was a lot of people kind of jumped on that
Yeah.
later on, but I don't know of anybody in that popular music doing that prior to him.
Right.
Really, not the way that he did it.
Yeah. Because his solos are great because he'll start with a melodic kind of run, a scale, but then he'll throw in a little blues, he'll throw in a little shredding kind of thing, he mixes it up. He's not just a one-trick pony. He would kind of hit a lot of things in one solo.
I hear a lot
soulful.
of people dog on. A lot of Aussie fans, I should say, would kind of dog on Diary a little bit. Not the album, the song itself. And to me, that is one of the greatest works of art ever.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
song. I love it.
My favorite solo from him is Mr. Crowley, probably. But I love Diary is probably my number 2.
Amazing.
And then I Don't Know is right up there as far as the rhythm and his fills. I love his fills.
He's great at the
like
fills, too,
live playing. He just loves to throw in a fill, and I love it.
The doubling that he used
Yeah.
on a lot of stuff too was pretty, just fleshed out the sound.
Yeah.
I remember reading that his mother had a music school, and so when he picked up the guitar, he started playing. She sent him to one of her, one of the teachers. there.
You're stealing my story, but go on, Kevin. You beat me to it.
I thought you had your pick.
You lose. Fair
No, on
Yeah,
this
he was-
one.
he was like, "What was it, AJ? Like a month into it," and the teacher was like, "Yeah, I can't teach him anything else.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm learning from him now."
Yeah, he said he said I can't teach your son anymore. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kev. I was going to let
No,
you
it's
run
not.
with it.
Yeah.
Go with it.
But
Go
he's
with it.
like, what do you mean you can't teach me? He's like, because the last 3 weeks I've been learning from him. I can't take your money anymore.
The teacher became the student.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Right.
fucking
Exactly.
incredible. Awesome, though. I knew that'd be your one, Dongo. I think we all did.
I did too. I didn't talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up, boys. Another great one, as always. Few things I like to always get out there is our email, which is pta80h@gmail.com. Always twice. pta80h@gmail.com. Give us some feedback on this stuff. Who's your favorite guitarist? We'd love to hear that from you guys. Kevin, thank you so much. What a blast.
Thank you, AJ.
Yes,
Loved it.
Donald.
Rock on, man. Thanks.
Yes, brother Mark.
That was absolutely fun.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I love this
Yeah, I
shit.
don't know what to say. That was just a blast, like you said. I was gonna say it was a blast, and you stole the blast. So, but anyway, I had a blast.
Everyone out there, thank you so much for listening. We can't appreciate it more. And we are out.
Somewhere there's music, I'll paint the tune. Where there's heaven, how high low. There is no moon above, love is far away too. Till it comes true that you love me, I love you. Where there's music, I'll dare how far. Where there's heaven, it's where you are.
listening to Pastimes at 80s High. Our passion is the nostalgia from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. When times were more simple, times were more fun.
Hey, bud, let's party.
And we weren't stuck in our phones all day.
Inconceivable!
We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, you can send an email to pasttimesat80shigh@gmail.com and hit the website at pasttimesat80shigh.com. See you next time.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.